Every one in 4 children in America is raised by a single mother, and nearly 40% of those families live below the poverty line. Behind those numbers are women fighting battles no one sees. This is the story of one of them. Her name is Clara Matthews, 32 years old, a waitress, a mother of 2, and one rainy Thursday morning, a stranger walked into her life and changed it forever. Clara's mornings always started the same. Alarm at 4:45 a.m. before the sun rose, quietly slipping out of bed so she wouldn't wake her children, Mia, 8 years old, and Caleb, just 5. She'd leave notes on the counter with a smiley face drawn in pen, her way of being present even when she was absent. Her rent was overdue, the fridge often had more empty shelves than food, and the weight of responsibility pressed on her shoulders like an invisible burden that never lifted. Neighbors would sometimes whisper, "She's strong, but I don't know how she does it." Clara worked 2 jobs, a diner shift by day, cleaning offices by night. She carried guilt for missing bedtime stories, for rushing out before breakfast. But she kept telling herself, just one more month, one more paycheck, then things will get better. But every time she paid a bill, another crisis appeared. The heater broke in winter. Mia needed new shoes for school. Caleb came home with an asthma diagnosis, requiring expensive medication that insurance barely covered. And still, Clara kept going, smiling at customers, hugging her kids tighter when she got home, hiding her tears in the bathroom where no one could see, where the sound of running water would mask her quiet sobs. She'd stand there, gripping the sink, looking at herself in the cracked mirror, whispering, "You can do this. You have to do this. They're counting on you." Let me take you inside Clara's world, into the moments that broke her down and built her up, day after day. It's Tuesday morning, 6:30 a.m. Clara ties her apron with hands that shake slightly from exhaustion. The diner smells of bacon grease and burnt coffee. She's been working here for 3 years, and every morning feels the same. "Order up," shouts the cook, sliding plates across the metal counter. Clara balances 3 plates on her left arm, 2 coffee mugs in her right hand. Table 6 is getting impatient. The businessman in the corner keeps checking his watch. The elderly woman by the window hasn't touched her eggs. "Excuse me, waitress." A man in an expensive suit waves her over aggressively. "This isn't what I ordered. I specifically said no onions." Clara looks at the plate. There are no onions. But she sees the anger in his eyes, the way other customers are starting to stare. She swallows her pride. "I'm so sorry, sir. I'll fix that right away." Inside, she feels small, invisible, but she never lets it show. She takes the plate back, waits for the cook to remake the exact same meal, and serves it with a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. The man doesn't tip. After her late-night cleaning shift, Clara walks through dimly lit streets. It's past midnight, and the autumn rain seeps through her thin coat. She doesn't own an umbrella, couldn't justify the expense when her children needed school supplies. Her feet ache in shoes that are 2 sizes too small, hand-me-downs from her sister. But she keeps walking, imagining the warmth of her apartment, the sound of her children sleeping peacefully in their beds. Sometimes, on these long walks home, she allows herself to dream. Maybe someday she'll have a car. Maybe someday she won't have to choose between buying milk or paying the electric bill. Maybe someday she'll take Mia and Caleb to Disneyland, like she promised when they were smaller. But dreams feel dangerous when you're just trying to survive. "Mom, can you help me with my math homework?" Clara sits at their small kitchen table, her eyelids heavy from working 16 hours straight. Mia's textbook is open to multiplication problems that blur together on the page. "Of course, sweetheart. Show me what you're working on." For 30 minutes, Clara pushes aside her exhaustion and becomes the mother she wants to be. Patient, present, encouraging. When Mia finally understands long division, her face lights up with pride, and Clara feels like maybe she's doing something right. During dinner, Caleb asks, "Mom, why don't you eat with us?" Clara freezes, a spoonful of mac and cheese halfway to Mia's mouth. The truth is, she's pretending she's not hungry so her children can have seconds. The box only had enough for 2 full portions. "Because I already ate at work, sweetheart," she lies, her voice steady and warm. "But you finish up every bite, okay? You're growing so fast." That night, after the kids are asleep, Clara eats the leftover crust from Caleb's peanut butter sandwich and calls it dinner. It happens on a Wednesday. Clara comes home from her morning shift to find an eviction notice taped to her door. 60 days. That's all she has left. She folds the paper carefully, hides it in the drawer with the unpaid medical bills and the final notices from the utility company. The children are at school. The apartment is quiet except for the sound of her racing heart. That night, when Mia and Caleb are finally asleep, Clara sits at the kitchen table and allows herself to fall apart. The tears come silently at first, then in waves that shake her whole body. She whispers into the empty room, "God, I don't know how much longer I can do this. I'm trying so hard, but it's never enough. What if I can't give them what they need? What if I'm failing them?" The silence doesn't answer back, but somehow, in that moment of complete vulnerability, Clara makes a decision. Tomorrow, she'll keep fighting. Because giving up isn't an option when two small hearts depend on you. The turning point arrives on a cold Thursday morning in November. Clara doesn't know it yet, but this ordinary day will become the memory she returns to whenever life feels impossible. At exactly 9:15 a.m., a middle-aged man in a dark blue suit walks into Rosie's diner. He's not from the neighborhood. His clothes are too expensive, his shoes too polished. But there's something gentle about his eyes as he chooses a seat at the counter, right in Clara's section. "Good morning," Clara says, setting down a coffee mug without being asked. After 3 years, the routine is automatic. "Do you know what you'd like, or do you need a minute?" The man, who will come to know as David Reynolds, studies her face carefully, not in a way that makes her uncomfortable, but like he's really seeing her. Maybe the first person who has in months. "Coffee's perfect for now," he says quietly, "and you look like you've had a long week." Clara pauses, coffee pot still in her hand. Customers don't usually ask how she's doing. Not really. She forces her practiced smile. "Something like that, coffee refill." "Yes, and tell me, do you enjoy working here?" The question catches her off guard. Nobody ever asks her that. For a moment, her professional mask slips. "I do what I have to do," she blurts out, then immediately wishes she could take it back. "I mean, yes, it's fine. Good people here." David nods slowly, like he understands more than she's saying. For the next hour, he sits quietly at the counter, occasionally asking for more coffee, always saying please and thank you. He orders the daily special but barely touches it, instead watching Clara work, not in a creepy way, but with what looks like respect. When other customers are rude, David notices. When Clara's smile becomes forced, he sees that too. And when she drops a tray of dishes during the lunch rush, sending ceramic plates crashing to the floor, he watches her face crumble for just a second before she composes herself and starts cleaning up. "I'm so sorry," Clara says to the entire diner, her cheeks burning with embarrassment. "I'm so sorry, everyone." But David just watches, and in his eyes there's no judgment, only kindness. At 2:30 p.m., David signals for his check. Clara tears the receipt from her pad, expecting the usual $5 or $10 tip if she's lucky. "Thank you for the excellent service," David says, standing to put on his coat. "Take care of yourself, Clara." She's surprised he knows her name, then remembers her name tag. "Thank you, sir. Have a good day." After David leaves, Clara clears his place setting. She picks up the black leather folder containing his payment and opens it casually, expecting to see a $20 bill. Her hands freeze. Inside the folder is $1,000 in cash, 10 crisp $100 bills neatly arranged, and on the receipt, written in careful handwriting, "For you and your children, you are not invisible." Clara's breath catches in her throat. She looks around the diner frantically, as if this might be some kind of mistake, but the money is real, and the message is clear. She runs outside, her apron still tied around her waist, searching the parking lot and sidewalks, but David's car is gone. He's vanished as quietly as he appeared, leaving behind only the most profound act of kindness Clara has ever experienced. Standing on the sidewalk, clutching the money to her chest, Clara begins to cry. But for the first time in months, these are tears of relief. That evening, Clara sits her children down at the kitchen table. In front of her is the $1,000, more money than they've seen in one place in years. "Kids, something amazing happened today," she says, her voice thick with emotion. "A very kind person helped our family. Mia looks at the money with wide eyes. Are we rich now, Mom? Clara laughs, really laughs, for the first time in weeks. No, sweetheart, we're not rich, but we're going to be okay. Over the next few days, Clara uses the money carefully. She pays the overdue rent, fills the refrigerator with fresh groceries, replaces Caleb's empty inhaler, buys Mia the winter coat she's been needing. But more than the financial relief, it's the message that changes everything. You are not invisible. For years, Clara has felt like a ghost in her own life. Working, struggling, surviving, but never truly seen. David's kindness reminds her that she matters, that her efforts are noticed, that she's not alone in this fight. That night, Clara reads bedtime stories without watching the clock, without worrying about the next bill or the next shift. For the first time in months, she feels present in her own life. Over the next few weeks, something fundamental shifts in Clara's world. The money helps, of course, but the real change runs deeper. Clara notices she smiles more naturally at work. When rude customers snap at her, she doesn't take it personally anymore. She remembers David's words. She's not invisible. Her worth isn't determined by how others treat her. At home, the atmosphere lightens. Clara reads bedtime stories without rushing through the pages. She helps with homework without constantly checking her watch. The children laugh louder, play more freely, sensing their mother's renewed hope. One evening, as Clara tucks Caleb into bed, he wraps his small arms around her neck and whispers, "Mom, you seem happy." "I am happy, baby," she whispers back. "I'm happy because I have you and Mia, and because of the nice man who helped us." Clara pauses. She's tried to explain David's gift in terms her 5-year-old can understand. Yes, because of the nice man, but mostly because I remembered something important. What did you remember? That there are good people in the world, people who care about us, even if we don't know them. 3 weeks after David's visit, another letter arrives at the diner. It's addressed to Clara, care of Rosie's. Inside is a handwritten note on expensive paper. "Dear Clara, I hope this letter finds you and your children well. I wanted you to know why I left that day without explanation. 25 years ago, my mother was exactly where you are now, a single mom working 2 jobs, struggling to keep our family together. I was about Mia's age when a stranger changed our lives with a simple act of kindness. That stranger never told us his name. He just said that someday, when I was able, I should help someone else the way he helped us. It took me 25 years to find the right moment. But when I saw you that Thursday morning, I knew. Your strength is extraordinary, Clara. The way you carry yourself with dignity despite exhaustion. The way you smile at customers even when they don't deserve it. The way you never let your children see you struggle. You are not invisible. You are seen, appreciated, and admired by more people than you know. When life feels impossible, remember this. There are people rooting for you, even if you don't see them. And someday, when you're able, I know you'll pass this kindness forward. With deep respect, David Reynolds, P.S. Tell Mia that working hard in school will open every door she wants to walk through. Tell Caleb that being gentle and kind, like his mother, is the greatest strength any man can have. Clara reads the letter 3 times, tears streaming down her face. She holds it to her chest, feeling the weight of David's words, the connection to his mother, the promise of paying it forward. That night, she keeps the letter on her nightstand. Whenever doubt creeps in, whenever the old fears return, she reads it again, and remembers that she's part of something larger than her daily struggles. She's part of a chain of kindness that stretches back 25 years and will continue long after she's gone. Her life isn't magically perfect. She still works 2 jobs. Bills still arrive faster than paychecks. But now she knows she isn't alone. More importantly, she knows that someday, when her circumstances improve, she'll find her own stranger to help. Maybe it will be another single mother, walking home in the rain without an umbrella. Maybe it will be someone completely different. But she'll recognize them by their invisible battles, their quiet strength, their dignity in the face of struggle. And she'll remember David's words, "You are not invisible." This is the story of Clara Matthews, a single mother fighting battles in silence, carrying burdens no one could see, until one act of kindness from a stranger reminded her that hope is never truly lost. It's the story of David Reynolds, who honored his mother's memory by seeing Clara's struggle and choosing to help. And it's the story of all the invisible heroes walking among us, working 2 jobs, raising children alone, never giving up even when giving up would be easier. Sometimes the day everything changes begins with a stranger who chooses to see you, really see you, and reminds you that you matter. Maybe you've passed by someone like Clara today, someone carrying battles you can't see, fighting struggles you can't imagine, someone who needs to be reminded that they're not invisible. If this story touched your heart, share your thoughts in the comments below, because you never know who might need to hear your words of encouragement. You never know whose day you might change with a simple act of kindness. And don't leave just yet. There are more powerful stories of hope and humanity waiting for you on this channel. Stories that remind us that even in the darkest moments, there are people who choose to be the light, because sometimes, the day everything changes begins with you.